Oh, hey everyone, welcome back to Maighstir Tarot again after those last couple of days. What I want to have a look at today is, it's all about politics today, I think, what I'm going to have a look at. Following up from last week, earlier this week, trying to remember when, because once I've done a reading it passes from my mind. In regards to, it was a very quick reading in regards to the midterms. I actually want to have a bit of a deeper look at the midterms to get a bit of a reflection about how the Democrats are going to go in regards to the Senate and the House. In Australia, we had our election last weekend. Yay! Threw the Conservative, Trumpster-loving government out, soundly out, and we now have a social, liberal, forward, progressive moving government in. So, tag you're it, US. So I want to have a quick look at the lower and upper house. I also want to have a quick look at Donald Trump. The Trump lawyer, John Eastman, has come out, I think, to the January 6th committee and admitted that he has handwritten notes from Trump in Trump's handwriting outlining what he plans to do to steal the 2020 election. So he was plotting prior to the election itself, plotting prior to January the 6th insurrection of what he actually planned to do to challenge the election results. So I want to have a quick look at to see how that's going to play out. And finally, is Donald Trump actually even still relevant to the MAGA movement? They seem to have moved on from him. He is desperately trying to stay relevant from what I've seen. Haven't really seen much, but from what I've seen. So I just want to have a quick look at that as well. But so a few topics of conversation there today. Just need to settle my, okay, right, thank you. Yes, I'm going to get the Donald stuff out of the way first. Using my Tripping Weight Tarot, get these energies out of the way first. Tripping Weight seems to reflect Donald quite aptly, that he is this has-been of the past. But tell me if anything is going to come out from the John Eastman confession that he has handwritten notes. So now that he's admitted that he's got them, he's going to have to hand them over if he hasn't done so already. He's butt covering himself. Excuse the expression, I didn't mean it to come out like that, but that's just putting it through there. He is butt covering himself. Now, I have read in the past that Ivanka and Don Jr. will flip on him in regards to the New York State District Attorney, State Department, whatever's going on over there in regards to the fraud case for Trump org. So I think what's happening is that, okay, right, the first reading I want to do is Trump relevant any longer? Is Trump relevant any longer? Does Trump have any relevancy any longer? Does Trump have, tell me about Trump's relevancy, tell me about Trump's relevancy. I'm not even asking about MAGA, it's just in general. Does Donald Trump have any relevancy? Does Donald Trump have any relevancy? Does Donald Trump have any relevancy? Let's see what the cards say. I know what Maighstir's telling me, but we'll see what they say. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's extremely disappointed with how his star has turned out. Challenged by his past. So disappointment as okay, I'm getting that he is still living in his past as to whom he was, but whom he is now is this character here, who is extremely disappointed with how his life has turned out. It is not how he envisioned his life to be at this stage. At the base we have the voters, the American voters, celebrating in joy. In the past we had Knight of Pentacles. Can often mean stable, reliable, dependable movement, slow and steady movement forward, but he's also the mercenary. And to me, this is really the mercenary. He has sacrificed the peace. He sacrificed the peace in his life. And this is in the past. Financially, he sacrificed the financial peace in his life. And that's what happened in the past. Crowning this as the King of Swords. He is under investigation. Immediate future. He's battle weary, beaten, still standing defiant, but he's surrounded by these messages of boundaries that are being set. These messages that are coming forward that Fred Flintstone, the Fred Flintstone card is off. It can be the Ace of Wands, where you sort of get thumped over the head. This one's about him retreating to behind what he believes is a safe boundary, but he's been quite wounded in battle in regards to that. And he's alone. He is alone by himself, licking his wounds. External. Yes. You guys don't need me to explain the moon card, do you? Externally, there is the dirt coming to the surface, there is the seediness, there is the sludge flowing down the gutters, and coming to the full light of exposure. So this is the external influences on him at the moment. Internal influences, disappointment, I'll lift that slightly. Abject disappointment. He's looking at what he's lost. He's not looking at what he still has. He still has this, albeit not nearly as much as what he's lost. He's dejectedly looking and emotionally focusing on this loss, which is tying nicely with this disappointment card as well. But that's him internally. He's looking at what is being spilt. Hopes and fears. Well, it's a moving on, end of a cycle card. But he's finding this really burdensome. He is a burden. Okay, thank you, Maighstir. He is a burden. Okay. Potential outcome. Queen of Wands. These are the lawmakers. With a plan, they're investigating overseas connections and complete and utter downfall of the king. Fallen here, his crown is off his head. These are the children of the future. And this is being welcomed by this death, which has trampled over the top of him, trampled over the top of Trump. This new beginning has been brought in. So the Lovers, the difficult decisions he's made on the world stage in regards to his money. Female lawmakers, male lawmakers. Liz Cheney. Okay, I'm getting Liz Cheney for that one. And these are the male lawmakers as well. So, he's under investigation. But he's going to be brought down by contracts and arrangements that he's made on the world stage in regards to Trump Org and his intergenerational money. Okay, so, well, that was just more of an overview rather than as irrelevant anymore, so I'll come back to that question of, I suppose that's, no. Okay, thank you, Maighstir. This is about the relevance on the base of the pack. So that was the overview of where Trump's energies are at the moment. This is his relevance. Loss, despair, heartbreak. No, he's no longer relevant. He's having to defend himself as to his position. Again, no longer relevant. He is trying to stay relevant. He is trying to stay in his glorified emperor patriarchal position, but he is under investigation. Oh, okay. Retreat and then complete and utter downfall. So this is in regard. So the top of the pack was the overview, which was about the past, disappointment in the past, the moon energies, the mercenary, the voters. I wonder if this is the GOP, the MAGA crowd. I'll have a read on that. But what I'm getting on the base is that no, this is loss, disappointment, heartbreak, stabbed through the heart, basically. He's having to defend himself. He's desperate to retain this role, but it is under investigation, and this is where he ends up. Okay, so that wasn't so much the question that I asked. That's all about the energies that he's in. Has the MAGA crowd moved on from Trump? Do they no longer need Trump? I'm getting a no, they no longer need him. But I'll just ask quickly. 4 cards. 4 cards, please. Does the MAGA crowd no longer need Trump? Does the MAGA crowd... They have gone down this rabbit hole of blaming others for their own situations, their disappointment in life, their choices that have led them to where they are now. What I'm really feeling is that, that a lot of those that are drawn to MAGA, QAnon, the Parler, the Truth Social, or whatever it is, are feeling disenfranchised. Now, the reason for their feeling like they've been left out in the cold is because they've reached a point in their lives that is not where they expected to be. They expected to potentially be employed, have savings, a nice house, a car, a yard, friends, family, but if they've ended up, for whatever reason, they've had this, thank you, Maighstir, they've had this vision of what their lives should be, which is a great reason not to actually pin anything on a vision. It's just go with the flow and make your choices. But what they have done is they have pinned their emotional identity, their personal identity on who they thought they would be at this. I'm feeling extremely lightheaded at the moment, which means either I'm talking too much or I'm spot on. That they had pinned their identity on who they thought they would be at this stage in their lives. Oh, emotional, overwhelming, as they are faced with the truth. And where they have found themselves is not where they had envisioned themselves to be. They have found themselves having their lives suspended. They're having to look at things from a different point of view. Where they thought they would be is stopped, and they are having to be the reciprocants of help, giving and receiving help. Giving and receiving help. Okay, so these are the people that are drawn to these MAGA energies, and it is easier for them to blame someone for their situation in their life, of where they are in their lives, rather than accept that it was their own past decisions. And a lot of them are older, who feel that they may have run out of time. Sorry if I sound like I'm burbling, I'm just getting this message through, that they feel like they have run out of time and that they're not where they thought they would be. So the Star of Hope just bounced out. It's telling me it's never too late. Never too late to change the direction of your choices. Change the direction of your choices. The problem is many of them find themselves chained to this toxic energy of blaming others, of projecting, and it is their downfall. It is their downfall. I don't think I need to read much further on this. What they're finding is that, wow, 3 major arcana, 4 major arcana. What they're finding, I'll just continue on with the story. These are the base of the pack, and this is what I was drawn to pulling, is that they are realizing now that these contracts that they have made throughout their lives is chained them to this energy, chained them to this disappointment, their choices, their emotional choices that they made through their lives, the paths that they were on, but it's never too late. It's never too late. They feel have chained them to this, and they're having these contracts and agreements and arrangements and decisions that they made in their past is being fully illuminated to them. And what's happening is that their unconscious realization through this Sun card, because if you have a look, there's this big Sun card in the back, through this illumination, their unconscious decisions that they've made in their past is coming into consciousness. That they realize that it was themselves, their own strength, that have taken them down this path. It is not too late for authentic reform, but what they're feeling is that it's too late. That it's too late. Okay, that still didn't answer my question about Trump being relevant, but obviously I'm not meant to answer that one today, so I'll leave it as it is. I want to get on to a quick look at the upper and lower house. Yeah, I was looking for my other cards, but I think I've put them away. So we'll see what these ones tell me. So tell me about, these are my mystical manga cards. They are my political cards. I'll put it very simply, how will the Democrats win we'll go house by house. Will the Democrats win the lower house? Will the Democrats in the 2022 midterms, Democrats lower house midterms. Sounds like I'm playing a game of Cluedo there. Democrats lower house midterms. Democrats. They're not wanting to shuffle. I'm going to go and grab my other cards. I'll just pop you on pause for a second. Hang on. Right. Back again. Okay, these are my Gilded Tarot Royale. Okay. These are the ones that I wanted, that Maighstir wanted. Please tell me. Please tell me, how will the Democrats Democrats, lower house, midterm. Democrats, lower house, 2022 elections. Democrats, lower house, 2022 elections. Democrats, lower house, 2022 elections. Oh, feeling lightheaded again. Democrats, lower house, 2022 elections. There are going to be some revelations come out that are going to reflect on that in regards to ending of money. In regards to money. Oh, that will. Okay, this is going to be a big reflection. This isn't about the Democrats itself, but about this sabotage and deceit and betrayal, etc., is going to lead to a few, not just a few, being confined, jail, possibly. Not Democrats, I'm being told. Okay, so I might change my wording on that. How are the Republicans going to go in the 2022 midterms? Ah, they're shuffling a lot better now. 2022 midterms, lower house. 2022 Republicans, the GOP. Tell me about the Republicans in the lower house, 2022 midterm elections. Right, King of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. So something about the partnership and agreements that were made with the moneyed. Oh, okay, right, yes, thank you. It's to do with those that are still obsessing on the Trumpster line. Tell me, how will the Republicans in general, overall, go in the lower house in the 2022 midterms? Ending new beginnings, not for the GOP. Tell me. Ending for the GOP, new beginnings for America. Tell me, how will the GOP, the Republicans, go in the lower house midterms? Come on down. Ooh, okay. They're really going to have to defend themselves. They're going to be embattled as their overseas Russia interests come to light and they reap what they sow, basically. A harsh truth is going to come out, and there's my Biden under the auspices, under the guidance of Biden, and there will be great disappointment. Can I gloat on that one? So they are going to find themselves under attack. They're going to have to defend themselves in regards to overseas Russian money or plans or arrangements, but Russia's with the overseas, they're going to reap what they sow as a harsh truth comes out under the guidance of Biden. And for the Republicans, it's going to be extremely disappointing. Ooh, okay. It's going to be a slog for them. It's going to be a hard slog for them. Okay, that's interesting, considering, well, what you have to remember is that they are a noisy minority. They seem more than they are because they are noisy, they're in your face, they're aggressive, so that they appear to be a bigger portion than what they are. But I'll have a look at the Senate. Tell me about Democrats, you're going to have to work hard behind the scenes. You're going to have to really knuckle down and focus. Focus. Don't be scattergunned. Focus on it. Tell me, how will... Okay. Wants me to go positive this time. How will the Democrats go in the Senate? How will the Democrats go? I'm seeing an image of Mitch McConnell being extremely disappointed. I know what's he, House? Senate? House. No, he's Senate, isn't he? Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell turned and walked. He turned and walked. Okay, I'm going to go back GOP. Tell me about the Republicans. How will the Republicans go in the Senate, the upper house, 2022 midterms? Republicans, GOP, thank you, shuffling better now. Upper house, Senate, 2022 midterms. How are the Republicans, the GOP, upper house, Senate, 2022 midterms? 2022 midterms. Republicans, Senate, 2022 midterms. How are they going to go? How are they going to go? Righty-ho. Let's have a look. Oh, here's that burdensome. It's going to be a really hard slog. Uphill, weighted down, being looked on by the stag of strength under a crescent moon. Crescent moons? Under a dark clouds? Dark clouds. Dark clouds. Yes, thank you, Maighstir. Dark clouds they're going to have to slog uphill with a heavy burden while being watched on. Watched on. They will be given a choice to make as to whether they follow the path to the light or they continue on with these dark clouds. They will be given a choice to make. But, sorry, shouldn't gloat. It is unseemly to take pleasure. Loss, heartbreak, despair, downfall, you name it. There will be a lot of infighting, a lot of blaming. They are chained to this devil energy and they will be disappointed in the outcome. Again, disappointed. I think that sums it up pretty well. So that was the GOP. In the Senate, I don't know that there's really anything to add to that. They're going to be under this huge burden. They do have a choice whether they follow into this light or they continue on with these dark clouds. And whatever choice they make, it's going to lead to heartbreak, and you've got these dark clouds again. So I think what they've chosen is not to choose this path and this plan into the light. Did a reading a while back on Liz Cheney, which was worth looking at in regards to this. There's going to be a lot of infighting, in blaming. It's going to be everybody else's fault except for theirs. But they are still under this toxic greed, avarice, lies, deception, betrayal, seduction, just ghastly energy, which is going to lead to disappointment. So I think I'll leave that there as well. So thank you for joining me today. That was quite enlightening. If you've got any questions, put them in the box below. And let us see what tomorrow brings. Thank you for joining me. Look after yourselves mentally, physically, spiritually. Also, In regards to the upcoming election, all I can say is just do what you can. Don't be disappointed at what you can't do. Encourage people to vote. Don't question the way they vote, but just encourage them to vote. Make sure people are registered on the day, possibly arrange transport to take people to the polling booths or support them in whatever way you can. And look after yourselves. Take time for yourself. Okay, love to you all, and I shall catch you later. Bye-bye.